Students, good morning everyone. My voice is audible. Good morning students. Yes, after break, welcome back in our class. I hope everyone is happy, healthy and safe. Students, first my instruction is that this is our reoccurring meeting. Reoccurring meeting means every day you have to click on the same link. You will not get every day new IDs or link. You today what you have got every day on the same link. My class, you have to see click on that same link, and my class will be open same timing. It's clear, students? And I hope everyone see it should not be said every day that you should sit straight, no eating, no talking while you are in the class of 30 minutes. Now it's only 30 minutes, and that 30 minutes you should give it properly. And everyone's video should be on. You can't hide your videos. Akshara, look here. The class, same way you have to be present here. Going to start second chapter, that is globe, latitudes and longitude. If you remember, in grade 5 also I have shown you the globe. You all know what is globe. Globe is a model of the earth. It gives us a true picture of the shape of the earth. Students, I'll share you the PowerPoint presentation, PPT, of this chapter. It speaks through the globe in a tilted manner, which is called its axis. 2 points on the globe through which the needle passes are 2 poles. That is North Pole and the South Pole, just as the Earth moves. So this was about the globe, you know, about the globe. The big needle fixed through the globe is the imaginary axis on which the Earth rotates. The two ends of the axis are called the North Pole and the South Pole respectively. The globe has lines drawn on its surface which form a crisscross pattern called the grid. The lines cut each other at right angles. The east-west lines are called the parallels of latitudes, while the north-south lines are called the meridians. So students, now we'll move to our parallels of latitudes and meridians of longitude. You can see the PPT, students. The lines of latitude and longitude are imaginary lines, means they are imaged. They are not fixed lines, either on east-west direction. Together they form a grid which can be used to identify location on the Earth's surface. Here, thus it was difficult to number the meridians. Hence, all countries decided that the count should begin from the meridian which passed through Greenwich, where the British Royal Observatory is located. This is called the prime meridian. This is called the prime meridian. Now, particular diagram about the parallels of latitudes, how latitudes are moving, and is very important reference point to locate places on the Earth. All parallel circles from the equator. You can see equator. This pink color line, that is equator, students. In the diagram, you can see the pink color line on this Earth globe. It is 0 degree. Okay. Yes, all parallel circles from the equator up to poles are called parallels of latitude. See, top portion, it is pole, North Pole and the South Pole. Latitudes are measured in degrees, and these latitudes are measured in degrees. So equator starts with 0 degree. It starts 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, like that presents the 0 degree latitude. Since the distance from the equator to either of the poles is 1/4 of circle round the Earth, it will measure of 360 degrees, that is 90 degrees. So it is 90 degree north and 90 degree in the south. Thus 90 degrees north latitude mark as the North Pole and the 90 degrees south latitude mark as the South Pole. As such, all parallels north of the equator are called the north latitudes. Similarly, all parallels to the south of equator are called the south latitudes. Now in latitudes only, we study about They're parallel lines also. See, they run in east-west direction, students, and measure distance or north-south from the equator. So they are measured from the equator north to south and are parallel to one another, and they never meet each other. So all parallel, they are parallel, but they never meet each other and cross the prime meridian at right angles. And all parallels lie in a planes that cross the Earth's axis at right angles. Get shorter towards the poles. Yes, students, you can see in the diagram, they get shorter at the poles. The north degree, you can see that they are shorter. Their circle is shorter. Only at the equator, the longest great circle. Equator is also called as the longest great circle. So this is again a short definition about the latitude, which you can remember easily. There are several major lines of latitude other than the equator and the poles. There are Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, and Antarctic Circle. These are the important latitudes. And lines of latitude get smaller as they get further near, not because the distance around the Earth decreases. And at the poles, the latitude is 90 degrees and the circular distance is 0 kilometer. Each pole begins just a single point. Now, in the latitude only, we'll study about the heat zone. Our Earth is divided into three heat zones, students. That is torrid zone, temperate zone, and the frigid zone, students. The heat zones, yes. So torrid zone is a hot zone, students. The belt on the Earth that lies between the equator and the two tropics, that is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, receives the direct rays of the sun and experiences high temperature throughout the year. This belt is called the tropical zone. So students, torrid zone is a hot zone or hot belt. The southern half of India lies in the torrid zone. It's because the Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of the India. The next zone is temperate zone. Temperate zone means moderate zone, means either not very hot nor very cold. The areas on the earth lying between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, and the areas of Tropic of Capricorn and the Atlantic Circle in the southern hemisphere are called the temperate zone areas. Here the sun rays are always slanting and it's neither too hot nor too cold. So these was the students about the temperate zone. You can see in the diagram. Now the last zone is the frigid zone, students. Frigid means very cold. The areas on the earth lying between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere are the two frigid zones on the earth. The sun never rises above the horizon in these areas. The rays fall extremely slanting and do not carry much heat. These regions remain very cold throughout the year. The amount of heat reduces as we move towards the poles. So near the poles, we can't feel heat. It's only completely frigid area. So students, this was about the heat zones. Now we move towards the longitude or the meridians. See, longitudes are also known as meridians. Students, you can go through the diagram. See, these lines are going from north to south, and latitudes they were moving from east to west. You should be very clear, students. Latitude means they are going from east to west, and longitude means they are going from north to south. They are also called as meridians. Latitudes are called as parallels, and longitudes are known as meridians. Longitudes run in north-south directions. Measure distance east or west of the prime meridian. So you can see that a prime meridian line is also shown. Are farthest apart from the equator and meet at the poles. They meet at the poles only and away from the equator. They cross the equator at right angles. And the meridians or the longitudes lies in planes that pass through the Earth's axis. And they are equal in length and are halves of great circles. Now all lines of longitude are the same length. Their length, there is no difference in length, equal length there. And there are only one important line of longitude other than the prime meridian the international dateline. This is the 180-degree line in both the directions. The lines of longitude run north to south around the planet. They begin at the prime meridian and split the Earth into two east and west hemisphere. Yes, at the prime meridian, it divides the Earth into two parts, east and the western hemisphere. They are 180-degree in each hemisphere, as the parallels or the latitudes are 90-90. They are totally 180. But these longitude students, they are 180 in each hemisphere, and total they are 360 in number. As equator divides the earth into northern and southern hemisphere, same way students, longitude divides earth into two halves, that is eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. The earth rotates 360-degree in about 24 hours, which means 15-degree an hour or 1 in 4 minutes. Thus, when it is 12 noon at Greenwich, the time at 15-degree east of Greenwich will be 1:54, that equals into 64 minutes, means 1 hour ahead of Greenwich time. It means that 1 p.m., but at 15-degree west of Greenwich, the time will be behind by 1 hour. So it will be 11 a.m. Similarly, 180-degree, it will be midnight when it is 12. So it is, see, longitude helps to locate the time also and the place also. So longitude is useful in locating the time, students. Now students will move towards the next point about it, the local time and the standard time. See, the sun is the best timekeeper. The earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation, students. You all know this. It takes 4 minutes for each degree to pass in front of the sun. So, to go from one longitude to other longitude takes 4 minutes. When any meridian is facing the sun, all the places on the meridian will have midday or noon. Each meridian will have its own specific time, which will be different from that of the other. This time is called the local time. As the earth rotates from west to east, the places east of Greenwich will be ahead of Greenwich. Yes, students, see. The places which are on the east will be ahead, will be 1 hour earlier. And while the places west of Greenwich will be behind. So west side of the Greenwich will be back. So this is how the time is calculated. The earth completes its rotation in 24 hours. This already I explained you the timing about. Now see, the time determined under the basis of the sun's apparent movement is the local time. And that refers to the fixed time of several places. That is called the standard time under the same standard meridian. Now, change with the change in longitude position. See, local time change with the change in longitudinal positions. Now, change with the change in time zones of the regions. And standard time, there are changes with the change in the time zones of the regions. Yes, students, now it was about the local time. Now the standard time. That local time on different meridian is different. This leads to a lot of confusion. To avoid this confusion, every country has chosen a central meridian, which is called the standard meridian of that country. The local time on this meridian is adopted as the standard time of a country. In India, a longitude of 82.5 degree east, which passes through the Mirzapur city near Allahabad, has been selected as the standard meridian of India. So students, you should know what is the standard time for India. It is 82.5 degree east, which passes through Mirzapur city near Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh, is taken as the standard time of India. And the time on the meridian is the standard time for the whole country. That is called the Indian Standard Time. Now students, about the time zone. The standard time of different countries are not the same. Yes, all countries have different time. India's standard time is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of Greenwich because India is to the east. Students, you should know. If it is all the eastern countries will be ahead, and all the western side countries will be back. They will be behind. When it is 12 noon in India, it will be 5:30 a.m. in UK, and the world is divided into 24 time zones of each 1 hour each. Each zone is covering 15 degrees of longitudes. So students, the last topic of this, it is international dateline. It is one of the strangest aspects of the study of time zones. Although it follows the general courses along the 180-degree line of longitude, it does not run through any country, but runs only through the ocean in that area. As it avoids passing through any land to avoid confusion, it's not a straight line. So students, if you have now any doubts related, you can ask me, you can chat me in the chat box about the